Shopify grows your business no matter how far or big you grow. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Whether you're selling your fans' next favorite shirt or an exclusive piece of podcast merch, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in.
This is The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. There's nothing that screams failure to a runner than having to walk, even if we know logically that's ridiculous. If you start a run and then have to or want to walk, there's a little voice inside your head that might say, "What are you doing? Real runners run, not walk." I'm here to tell you that angry little voice is wrong. Walking can actually be your superpower to better running. That's right, walking can make you a better runner. And I don't just mean taking the dog out for a walk, which is actually a literal step in the right direction. I'm talking about the power of incorporating intentional walking before, during, and after your runs. And this is not just for beginner runners. It's for everyone. How can walking possibly help your running? Let's find out. Welcome to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic, and my mission is to help you improve your running, your mindset, and your life with science-backed training and plant-based nutrition. On today's show, I'm going to explore the ways walking can help you upgrade your running fitness. We'll go over how the run-walk method can be used by more than just beginner runners, how walking can actually lead to more running, even for the fastest runners, and how getting in more walking into the rest of your day can boost your overall fitness. If you want a super simple way to get fitter without that much more effort, this is the show for you. Want to see me demonstrate this in person? Here's your chance. This September, join me and a small group of runners for an incredible running vacation here in Asheville, North Carolina. All paces are welcome, even if you're mostly walking. We're staying in deluxe riverfront cabins right where we can run out our door. We'll feast on chef-catered plant-based meals, enjoy classes and coaching, and so much more. To learn all about the cool things we've got planned, go to theplantedrunner.com/retreat. We've only got a few spots left, so sign up today. Don't forget to stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode for another Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. When done right, a run-walk program is an effective training method that can help you increase your fitness faster, recover from hard workouts quicker, and return from injury with less chance of relapse. Some runners even use it as a planned race strategy, allowing them to finish faster than they could than running the entire distance. I'll get to that part in a few minutes, but first, let's start with the obvious place to begin: beginners. The research says that aerobic development peaks between 30 to 90 minutes of low-intensity exercise. You're building capillaries, increasing your plasma and blood volume, building up your heart and leg muscles, and a whole lot more when you work out aerobically. But when you're just starting out, 30 minutes of running is far beyond most people's fitness. That's when walking can fill in the gaps. You might start out with 5 minutes of brisk walking, then run for a minute or two, depending on your fitness level, and then repeat. Your actual time spent running might only tally up to 10 or 15 minutes, but the time you are building your aerobic fitness is far longer and hopefully pushes you into that 30 to 90 minute zone. The walk breaks allow you to catch your breath, rest your legs a little, and lessen the pounding on your muscles, tendons, and joints. running is a high-impact exercise, and it takes a long time for your body parts to be tough enough to handle thousands upon thousands of steps of high impact. But if you methodically walk in between short minutes of running, you can get 2 to 3 times as much aerobic exercise in a far more gradual and gentler way. This allows you to progress faster than if you just run as long as you can all at once. The key to making the run-walk method so valuable is to always walk before you get fatigued from the run section. This allows you to keep great form, recover almost instantly, and usually makes it easier to get running again instead of it being such a chore. You'll want to keep your walk intervals nice and brisk to keep your heart rate up and to keep the aerobic work honest. This is another reason to begin your walks before you're tired from the run. If the run section is depleting you, you are more likely to shuffle along during the walk. Not to mention, relaxing too much during your walks can make the transition back to running less appealing. You'll gradually want to increase your ratio of running to walking until you're doing all running. For example, if you started out with 5 minutes of walking, 2 minutes of running, you'll want to move up to 4 minutes of walking and 3 minutes of running, and so on, until you can run an entire mile without walking at all. At that point, you might still want to take walk breaks each mile, or your goal could be to eventually phase out the walk. Depending on your fitness level, this could take anywhere from several weeks to several months. Once you build up to being able to get into the peak zone by just running, you might not need to keep up the walk part. The reason for this is because at a certain point of fitness, walking is not going to give you the same stimulus as just running. Once a 30 to 45 minute run feels easy without walk breaks, your running will progress faster without the walks, in general. One exception here is your long run. If you're trying to build that up, a good strategy is to keep a walk in there, even if you're running 30 to 45 minutes on your weekday runs without stopping. For example, you might do 20 minutes of running with 2 minutes of walking 3 times for a total of 64 minutes on the weekend. By keeping the walk in there for 3 to 4 weeks on your long run, you can be sure that you're not overstressing your body and are better prepared for the distance. But once you are ready to drop the walk during your runs, that doesn't mean you should stop walking. I'll explain how walking can make even experienced and elite runners better than ever right after this. My favorite way to get all my stinky running clothes clean is with Earth Breeze. Earth Breeze Eco Sheet looks just like a dryer sheet, but it's ultra concentrated laundry detergent. It eliminates stains and odors while being kind to the planet and your skin. No more ugly, heavy plastic laundry jugs filled with messy blue goo, which we all know is mostly water. Earth Breeze comes in a lightweight cardboard envelope that hardly takes up any space in your laundry room. And they offer flexible subscriptions delivered right to your door for free. If you decide to go back to your old stuff for some reason, you'll get a full refund on your Earth Breeze purchase, no questions asked. My clothes are clean, they smell fresh, and I never have to feel guilty dragging home the big orange jug from the store again. Right now, you can receive 40% off Earth Breeze just by going to earthbreeze.com/plantedrunner. That's earthbreeze.com/plantedrunner to cut out single-use plastic in your laundry room and the landfill. That's 40% off your subscription at earthbreeze.com/plantedrunner.
Greetings from Evergreen Podcasts. We're rolling out a listener survey and we want to hear from you. The information in the survey will help us gather statistics and in turn make our shows more appealing to advertisers. I know most people don't like ads, but this is one of the only ways our shows make money and help keep their lights on. We promise it will only take a few minutes, but the impact on our podcasts will be tremendous. As a token of our appreciation, we'll randomly select one lucky participant each month to win an exclusive merchandise package from Evergreen Podcasts. Head to evergreenpodcast.com/listenersurvey to help a show and possibly get some free stuff for doing so. We can't thank you enough for the support. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to The Planted Runner. I'm Coach Claire Bartholic. Experienced runners sometimes suffer from a stubborn belief that only running will make them better runners, and that's simply not true. Walk breaks can help make a recovery run feel better and be less stressful on the skeletal system, so don't let your ego stop you from taking a beneficial walk break on a particularly junky feeling Wednesday run. Walking is one of the best cross-training activities a runner can do because it's easy, gentle, free, and very similar to running. Instead of a pure rest day after a race or a hard day of running, you might want to try a 30-minute walk. You'll likely recover better and you'll boost your aerobic fitness and metabolism at the same time. And that's something every runner can benefit from. How about using walking to boost your mileage? If you'd like to get the benefits of more running, but you're not ready for running doubles or lengthening your runs, go take a walk. You're stimulating your metabolism in almost the same way as a run without the downsides. My favorite way to add in more walking is to walk at work. I have a stand-up desk and a walking pad, and depending on the day, I can get in 4 to 8 miles of walking without much effort at all. I take all my calls while I'm walking, and I walk at a pace that's gentle enough to be able to speak and type as easily as standing. And I feel so much better than when I sit all day long. I'll put a link of the type of desk and walking pad I use in the show notes if you want to see my setup. Another great time to add in a walk is at the very end of a run. Pro runner at Zap Endurance, Andrew Colley, told me that he always takes several minutes to walk after all of his runs as the final stage of his cool downs. This allows the transition from exercise to normal life to go a little bit smoother, and it helps begin the recovery process faster, all before hitting the shower. Walking is also perfect when you're returning from injury or a significant break in training. If you had to stop running for more than 2 weeks, or if the injury is particularly difficult, the run-walk method can prevent re-injury and help you transition back to normal training faster than just running alone. Now, I know what the veteran runners are thinking here, and you might be saying something like, I've been running for years. Why on earth do I need to start walking every 10 minutes coming back from my hamstring injury? I'm in a hurry to get back to training because my goal race is right around the corner and this walking business is just a waste of time. It's not for me. Well, actually, if you are in a hurry, this might be the faster road to recovery, even though that seems counterintuitive. That's because when returning from a difficult or persistent injury, the injured area is likely to be more sensitive and prone to re-injury. When we hurry back to running, we tend to ignore the mild to moderate pain signals, which causes the body to compensate for the injury by changing how you run in order to lessen the pain. This could be an obvious limp, or it could be completely invisible as the body shifts the pressure from the injured area to another muscle group that is not prepared to handle the load. This means that you could potentially stressing other areas of your body to compensate and set off a chain of injuries. This is why sprained ankles lead to IT band and knee pain, and strained hamstrings might lead to calf trouble. Not ideal. But by implementing a run walk, you'll help take the pressure off of your structural system while allowing you to get out there and run for a greater total time while transitioning back to normal training. The concept is exactly the same as intervals on your speed day. If you're trying to run a faster 5K, for example, you don't just head out the door and run 3.1 miles as fast as you can each week. You break it up into intervals with rest breaks. Over many weeks, you can extend your race pace and shorten your breaks until you're running the 5K faster than ever. It works the same way when your goal is to lengthen your runs. Now, if your ego is still getting in the way of a walk, it might help to know that top elites will use the run-walk method when coming back from injury, and running is their job. Their egos and their livelihoods are invested in getting back to running as fast as possible, and often the best way to do that is to walk. So if you've been injured and you're coming back to running, but progress is slow and the pain is still there, try breaking up the run with some walking for a couple of weeks and see how it goes. And then there are those runners that have discovered that the run-walk strategy actually works so well that they never give it up. Not even on race day. Olympian and legendary coach Jeff Galloway has popularized the run walk method as a lifestyle and a race day strategy. The idea is that by adding purposeful walks to your running, you can recover long enough to run faster or longer than you could without them. Of course, that does mean that you would need to run faster during the run portion to make up for the walking sections to get the same results as running the entire race. But for some runners, it's more than worth it. And Jeff Galloway is proof that his method works for even the fastest runners. He ran his 1980 marathon PR of 2:16:35 by taking brief walk breaks every mile. What's amazing about the Galloway method, or Jeffing as it's also known, is that it makes running much more accessible to more runners. If you've tried it and you love it, keep at it. But I will say that it's not for everyone. Galloway recommends very, very long run walks to prepare for a marathon, often longer than 26 miles or 42 kilometers. With those walk breaks, some of your long runs will exceed 4, 5, or even 6 hours. That is a lot of time on your feet, not to mention time away from everything else in your life. I've coached many hundreds of runners at this point, lots of them coming from the Galloway method. And I'm not convinced that those super long runs, even with the walking breaks, are ideal for most runners. The walking itself is not really the problem, in my opinion. It's the extreme length of time you are out there training. And I think that ends up being more detrimental than helpful. But walking as a separate activity might just be the boost you need for your training. Because walking is so universal, you can share it with friends and family who might not be as fit as you are. Getting your family to go for a walk after a meal or a holiday dinner is an enjoyable way to spend time together and sneak in a little fitness at the same time. It shouldn't entirely replace your running, of course, but it can certainly enrich your life in other ways. Human beings were designed to walk a lot more than most of us actually do in our modern lives. And by incorporating more walking, we can all become better runners. And now it's time for the Mental Strength Minute. Fortify your mind in 60 seconds or less. Today's topic is reframing. The way you view the difficult parts of running makes a huge difference. Starting line nervousness can be reframed as excitement to test your fitness. Disappointment after a bad race or workout can be viewed as a sign that you really care about the work that you're doing. The intense discomfort from the effort it takes to run long and fast can be reframed as discovering and improving your limits. Humans are wired to see negative things in a negative light, but we're also intelligent enough to know that we can reframe these feelings and use them to our advantage. Thank you for listening to The Planted Runner, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Don't forget that you can win free access to one of my Sprint Session masterclasses just for writing an Apple Podcast review. So be sure to write yours right after your run today. Reviews are the #1 way to boost this show's reach, and it's a great way to tell me what you'd like to hear next because I read every single one. Have a great run today.
There is no hood like parenthood. When you meet a fellow parent, you just kind of get each other on a whole nother level. Hi, I'm Kanika Chadda Gupta. I'm a former CNN journalist, mom of 3, including twins, and host of That's Total Mom Sense, the podcast. I interview changemakers on their life lessons, legacy, and superpower of intuition, aka their mom sense and dad sense. I've had some pretty amazing parents on my show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kelly Rowland.
Hi, this is Chelsea Clinton. It's me, Bobby Brown. Can't wait to share my story.
Episodes release every Thursday. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube. Join my tribe at thatstotalmomsense.com and follow me on Instagram at Kanika Chadda Gupta. I'm thrilled to be on this journey with you.